Okay, sorry.
Planning an attack on Lost-Wing.
I apologize.
I need to warn Quentin.
Clive, how goes the hunt for our...
I found some black shields hiding near Lord...
Black Shields? The Empress's former bloodhound, though they serve another master now. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent. Damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time on this. More time to prepare. But if we are cornered, we have no choice but to bite back. And bite back we shall.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to explain. Who do the Black Shields serve now? And why would that person want you dead?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here is for him.
I don't understand. Why him? Why Lost-Wing?
What?
I suppose it is better that you know the truth. I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was I by the injustice of this world, I swore to fight it. And fight it I did, in my own small way. I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true ally.
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted bearers for sport. I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and vice. His support for me was no means of ridding himself of his rivals, a mask. His response, however, was rather
What the
more
fuck?
He had my entire family slaughtered.
The hell?
Faced no I lost everything. My loved one, the faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved. So I set about it. I tracked down every soul who served him and slit their throats myself.
What?
The man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power, and so I saw that I would need an arm. I came here to Lost-Wing and
everyone?
Of course. They too seen faultless friends sent to the gallows. To our wounds are the same. We know where he hides, how numerous. What we did not know until now, however, was
Quentin.
Our time is short. He may move against my friends and comrades.
What the hell? Sorry, this escalated. It don't make much sense, but sure.
I'm not going to change his mind.
Well, I can't wait to see how that turns out. I want to go do that.
My carpets. The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Gone, just like that.
What's the matter?
It's my apprentice. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've loathe though I am to...
Sure.
I'll see what I can do.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his heart.
All right.
There he is.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? Certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the fang used to calm my nerves. Now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, part of me shattered with her. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling pin, but I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. Oh, I loved her, damn it. But now she's gone. She's never coming back. What am I supposed to do? I ask her. How does a shell of a man learn to live again?
Oh yeah?
Focus on the job at hand. Think about what you can do right now.
What use is proofing loaves when... Wait. Perhaps the solution has been in the bakery all along. You've opened my eyes. Thank you, friend, and fare thee well.
Wait.
He's gonna become a murderer. He's gonna kill himself with a bread
I'll
knife.
be needing an escort then.
Ah, there you are. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high.
Master, it's ready.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. Her steeple peaks, her fulsome spurs. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's the fang without her crater? Why, no fang at all. And look, inside. She's... Master, I have found my...
Well, if it tastes off as... not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. With any luck. I don't know how you did it.
Yay! No, let me do the other quest. How much is my upgrade to Thunder gonna cost me?
Now, Dusan, I know you're
The most fragrant...
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips. Hugo Kupka is dead. I went up to give some greens to the job.
I only went and bloody bit me. Blooming heck.
It hasn't been
Editors started having books that don't have any pictures in.
Old farmer Otto keeps both chocobos and antelopes. After 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke the next morning to discover that a leg eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs on one of its antelopes. Four and 2 antelopes.
I knew it was a good idea to have editors study alongside the children.
Don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive?
I'm going to visit Sid, and
Sorry, I've got to get this thermal...
thermal, and this is...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen.
This is very Sid, isn't it?
The Enterprise.
Is Sid's daughter in... Is Sid a girl in 15?
Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in.
It's very fucking windy. Oh
Already
my god.
talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts making. The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Okay, I have to get some stuff.
I went up to give some greens to the drop.
Blackthorn.
Hell with it.
It's for me.
This is my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Go on then.
She said you would...
Well, well, well.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will you?
Right.
So Lid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the FfxD. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up.
You go find the hard thing.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where. We can get this over with. You going after the Stardust then? Which one of these?
Gav.
All right then. So,
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the FfxD. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
southern reaches of the FfxD, eh? I'll go and scout the place.
All right.
While you're off,
You two, eh?
fleece me.
Asia paid.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav?
It's not Gav. Oh, it is.
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
Okay.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me. That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
Oh no, I've only walked into a Squat in then.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat?
Is he gonna confess his feelings to me?
Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
Man to man.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
That was useless.
Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy? Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You're beat sneaking around on your tud all the time.
Start more playing together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Okay, back to it.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
If I don't come up with something soon.
I wonder if I choose Otto, I would get like a love story between them.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need.
Funny that.
What's the name back there? I'll give you all details.
What's her name? Right.
Ramen bread.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes.
I'll show you. Here
Okay,
you see
yes.
the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, it's no longer a matter of just walking in.
I see. Would that help?
Oh, I'll get them.
Yay!
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Fuck. What's going on?
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Come, my children, the reckoning is nigh.
Just getting that stuff from my airship. I don't like the atmosphere in Lost Wing at the moment.
Be safe.
How'd you get here?
There you are, Sid. The, ruins are just...
Of course.
Sweet boxer.
Anybody home?
What?
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Oh dear. I like the look of that attack.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you...
You shouldn't have any trouble.
Indeed. Well, don't...
All right.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job.
And just...
Right.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of... Which is why you need a prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even start. I need something light. But I've wrapped me...
Well, if I were in need, I know whose counsel I would...
Tones? I've got all the... Can you take this to it?
Right away.
Part 3.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures.
I went up to give some breeze to the job.
Thanks to Sid.
Hippocrates, do you have the moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of... pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what, if you possess the knowledge of the path...
Thank you, Hop. And since you're asking others to help you...
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jim...
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young might...
Let me go with...
So, Clive, who will accompany?
Taria.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic? Conch shells? Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find...
Well, I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak...
All right.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
We're so open.
Now, where's Talia?
Keep them pilchards nice and
Need to
chilled.
stock up on these.
I won't have you.
There you are.
Ah, we shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like... But if time is of the essence...
All right.
Let's see now. Meet me by the...
And what can I do for you? I do like a customer who knows what he wants. And a fine, fine day to you.
What do you want? If that's what you want, good riddance.
There's talk. How the hell is anyone supposed to...
You haven't much, but you're free to look. Ah, yes.
That should do it. Hopefully Talia's finished too.
Well?
I did.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
Are you okay getting that, Ruben?
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Yeah, true.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it
It's been 84 years.
Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary?
Of course.
Oh, and Clyde. It was good to talk.
It appears our work... A shame. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, followed, perhaps, someone will...
Leave it to me. Thank you.
These quests are nice to get to know the characters, but otherwise so boring.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest salmon you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Looks shite.
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming.
Would you be proud
Thinking
of me,
about the
Dad?
Enterprise sailing off over the searching for a land untouched by. So if the worst came to the worst, that's what she was meant to be. You see, but now she's so close to being finished. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us. I want people to sail aboard her in a world where we're not just trying to survive, but.
I'm working on that, and I'll do everything I can to get you.
All right. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, sod our plans.
Are you sure about that?
Something tells me.
He'd be proud of
you.
I was.
Right. There's just one thing I need.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, son. All yours. You earned this. All done?
I think I might know where those two things are now.
The St. Drake's Fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal.
Finest fabric!
Take a sniff.
Now, Dusan, I know you're keen, but do you...
Oh, where did all the men of the rock go?
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Anything I can interest you in? My thanks.
Titan moss. That's a good one.
Pleasure trading with you. Thank you kindly. Anything else I can take off your hands? An excellent choice. Go with Gilbert.
No, I'm telling you, it's gone.
Ready, go? Yeah! Straight home now.
Hmm.
Run like the wind.
But it said we're on the road that leads from the mill to the jaw.
Time to fight.
So where? The score's taking a day off. Well, we'll go this way.
This might take a while.
to the stables, Carl.
But it said that they were beside some abandoned ruins. Have I not activated them or something? There's more ruins up here.
Enough of you, are there?
But
You deserve a rest.
okay.
They don't look happy. Peace at last. Come on.
told me she was building a ship.
I'm done.
Run like the wind.
Okay, let's go. I'll be down here. How do I know that this place is called Cafe?
Straight home now. Playtime for the pack, is it? Let me introduce you to mine. Fire and flame! Get free! That wasn't too.
I'm just looking up where the other one is because I don't know.
He cracked the crystal too? You're joking.
Hopefully it's nothing. What could be wrong with talk? Trouble with the ledges. Blackthorn.
Oh, really?
This won't. I just wanted to ask that you might still be doubting your craft. Perhaps sharing a...
That bastard. Still, he got a king. He's just, well...
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but you could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling.
No, not troubling me.
And if you knew, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about it.
I'll see what I can... Sharper sword and recon.
Sure as I can't.
Thank you. Let's see what... I got your note. You think something's...
So you can I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at it like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something. Not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than you. Is that it, boy?
What was it you said he wrote?
That's what the lawsman seem...
Then maybe this all has something to do with what...
I suppose things have been different. Perhaps Hippocrates...
Instead of everything.
You're looking well.
What you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single edge.
Running around after...
I suppose I am, yes.
Little wonder. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into... Which made it nice and easy finding a...
Can you tell me who bought it?
You think I'd help? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dallam.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's...
I appreciate it.
Here's a faggot.
He cracked the crystal too. You're joking.
Lawsman.
He isn't ill.
I don't think so. She says he's hardly been...
I rather think she might be right. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within. And I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. If we assume that his newfound magics require... It may well be that the Bones Lady frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals. As to where one might find a suitable substitute...
I don't recall ever seeing...
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near...
Even so.
Good hunting.
Told me she was building a ship.
Drive. That's why I'm here.
Shh, Otto.
A little. Listen. I've some... And it's... maybe my fault. Sadly, that square... I can straighten it out, I swear, but I'm gonna need help.
Bit late for that.
There you are!
So let me get this straight. And instead of coming, you get Clive to come to you. You know, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. Well?
Oh, just Martha.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of...
Those ledgers were my responsibility.
We have that much to hand? I can always...
No, we don't. After the king's ransom we had off him, he does it besides.
All right. Is there anything...
They're mine. How'd you fancy taking these?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. What little something, Sid Nice, and I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies.
I'm sure they will.
But you know how it is.
I know.
Go. Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you.
Well...
Don't worry.
Really?
No. I don't.
It's right in the corner.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
They're saying Drake's fang is gone. The whole mother crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
Calm yourself.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
On the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Redeem! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamil is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Oh, I need to go here anyway. That's useful.
Got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamil.
No, don't take me back. No. No. Fuck. That's annoying.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What should I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield. And is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we? Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
There it is.
Thanks, Gal.
Hmm.
Well, Clive, looks like you're gonna need an even bigger sword. It should have stayed in its shell.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Get off. Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
There's talk at the glass gate.
I'd love some Boomer.
Did you hear? The gates to heaven.
I want to see you. It's all right. I'll be waiting.
Oh.
What am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that. Go will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Otto.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun...
Karen refused.
If it wasn't...
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
I want to do this one. Okay. Atlas.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Lady Karen, go tell. Would you prefer the debt was...
What debt? I may have tossed a talent or two in, but those were donations.
Of course not. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude.
Oh, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then.
Oh, nice. What a lovely woman.
Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You won't mind, would you?
Not at all.
I hear you ended up... Thanks to this, I sometimes wonder why, but...
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then?
Yo.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit...
I knew so little about...
most people.
Arthur and the Dame both seemed to have fond... How long did you know Sid before?
Before he died. 20 summers. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. Which is where I met him. We set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. That was... The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name, and there was no hiding his name.
Couldn't you and your family?
My family wanted the monster. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand. Luckily, it was him who stood beside me. Him who cried for me. Him who swore he'd do everything he could. And he was true to his word, threw away everything he had. I knew then I'd follow.
Yeah, that's a flashback.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting.
You're okay.
Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat.
It was all of us.
All of us. I just shove people in the right direction. Barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
That's a memory, isn't it?
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
That was nice.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Thank you, Clive.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him. Sorry for the wait, but hopefully...
You learned something about us.
I did better than that. Yes.
No wonder I couldn't get one hit. It might not be so bad if all you ever fought were you. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there someone...
I think so, yeah. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a stat. No point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as all. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good, I won't make a copy now.
I'm sure the curse just...
I'll be working... Hey, I owe you one. August 2.
You'll be happy to...
And I'll see that my debt to you. You come and find me when you've...
Right.
Clive. What's saying for you, dear?
Palm Amber.
And?
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Only got him bit me, didn't he?
Wish I could take one of our birds.
Well. Here.
Let's hear it.
Well, lovely bit of kit, yes. Problem is, it won't always, which is why I've been looking for something.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too.
Proper?
So what exactly...
Nothing but bomb ash'll do. Gave me a sample sheet, you pour them. Sir? And you...
I take it...
I saw a billet. I would have gone myself, but... Well...
All right.
Thank you.
I think Mid might need some help.
Okay.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
You can't just keep calling these pieces of the crock.
Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia.
So does that mean, sorry, does that mean that if I'd zoomed in,
That'll do, girl. Look what we have here. Greetings, Your Majesty. Finished.
day's over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the...
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But do you recall our conversation concerning...
About how she somehow...
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records...
What do you suggest?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one Icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you. In short, the Icons hitherto near at hand, or should I? And that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen. One can but speculate as to how...
He has seemed more...
And if I'm not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate in...
Oh.
That's cute. Don't have to wear that.
Clive? Not saying Fordian, do you? Not bad, if I do say so myself. And?
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the...
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And you're a jet. Right then.
Telemon Alembic.
Very impressed. There's...
Don't be... Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potion.
What?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into... Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on you...
Well,
that's this... Well...
It's certainly...
Right.
Thank you.
Mona, for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. And I'm telling you, there's...
By how much?
I think Mid might need some help.
How are you doing? Don't be a stranger, eh? Fancy a look at the list, do you? Quick look. Think you can help?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, Sam. All yours. Come again. May have more for ya.
Here for another of my lectures. Allow me to educate you. Here's the latest information I have.
Here you are. Thus ends today.
Good girl. Back. I can walk from here.
We're gonna die here because I have no shit. No potions, but... It's a fallen iron giant.
Another relic of the fallen. Well, it seems this one has a little more life left in it. All right then.
think I can do that, I just need to... It's a weird wind-up. I'm really bad at dodging that. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Whew. That was close for that.
Back to sleep with you.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
All right, Clive. As tricks. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her. Obelus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. You in a hurry and all, are ya? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she... But anyway, I was on my way up, got a letter. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle? Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in and all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
Ooh.
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the Lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these.
So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass, and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things, and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav.
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
fuck is that? It's always been there.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. The new boy.
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
Lucky to make it out alive.
Really? It's as bad as that?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead. And too much of it for us to handle.
I take it there's danger on the road.
What about this fearsome-looking fellow? You think he'd be equal to the task?
Oh, no doubt. Assuming he's willing to hear us out. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart. You seen it by any chance?
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the pass.
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait just down the road.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out? Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll pocket a reward for your troubles.
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway.
You've clearly got a fine head on those broad shoulders.
We're lucky you can now. Hoping to make a heavy purse in Boklad. Reckon he won't be forking.
All right.
No, we just put it.
Get a card. We're going to take a break now, and I'll be on later. Bye.